Hello, everybody. Today, I'm going to be bringing on a special guest. Her name is Christine, and she is part of the Academy. She is beaming. She is a light in this world. She is bubbly. She's fun. She's real. She's vulnerable. She's all the incredible things. And she's come so far in her journey with her relationship with food and just feeling more grounded throughout the day, constantly desiring growth and evolution and trusting herself and tapping into her beautiful intuition. She actually started with me inside of the membership. And I remember she came on a call and she was like, "So, how do I stop this whole binge eating thing?" And from there, after dieting for so long to then upgrading into the academy, and now we're having deeper level conversations about, boundaries and standards and trusting herself, tapping into her beautiful intuition. This is all what happens when you put in the work and you heal your relationship with food. Because she's been in the academy, we have so many incredible coaching moments where it's personalized mentorship inside of the academy. You get close proximity mentorship with me. I get to know your heart, I get to know your story, and your progress just expedites so much faster because I'm able to really customize things for your journey. And because she's come so far with her relationship with food, we've really just been able to work on so many other areas of her life. And I remember at the event, she said to me, like, "You're like this life coach." And it's true, because it's not just your relationship with food, it's all these other areas, like tapping into your intuition, slowing down, healing your relationship with rest, trusting yourself, boundaries, communication with family. That all actually supports your relationship with food. When you have a lack of boundaries, you're going to be depleted. And of course, you're going to turn to food to self-soothe. So she has come so far with the dried mangoes. She never thought she would get to a point where she would be able to have dried mangoes in the house for 8 months and literally not have any desire to eat them. That's all possible because, again, she committed long term. She went all in with the academy, high level mentorship. She's so committed to this journey. And as you heard, she wants to do things sustainable. She wasn't looking for a quick fix. She's not in for a few weeks. Like, she's all in, like a year plus. Like, she's all in. She's all in. Everyone in our sisterhood and our badass community loves her so much because she's willing to share. She's willing to be open. She's come so far because she's trusted this process. She didn't need evidence. She just showed up for herself. She committed and she was all in. And it took a moment for her to recognize, like, hey, like, I'm done with these BS diets. Like, I'm done with quick fixes. Like, I'm not going to focus solely on weight loss. Like, I'm going to actually do the work to heal my relationship with food. And now, because she's done that again, we are talking about how she could be in a body that she deeply loves, how she can release weight, but in a healthy way. Like, her mindset is so different. As you heard, she's not thinking foods are good versus bad anymore. She's more like, okay, well, these foods are going to best support me. They're going to give me higher energy. They're going to give me less inflammation. It's a better nutritious choice, and I can have it and still enjoy my dessert that she absolutely loves. She has a sweet tooth, and there's nothing wrong with that. I have a sweet tooth. Like, that's totally fine. But she has a completely different mindset around food and her relationship with food. And it's just been so incredible to witness. So you guys are going to love her. She's like this ball of energy. We all love her inside of the community. And I can't wait for you guys to hear her story and how it's just been so beautiful and how it unfolded. And we do life together. Like, honestly, like, she's she's in the academy. I'm all in with my academy people. It's the highest level of support. I get to know your heart, I get to know your story, and I get to really customize everything to you. So I'm excited for you to listen. If you feel called, if you're like, I'm ready for my binge-free life, I want to be this person that could keep foods in my house for 8 months and literally not have any desire to eat them, like the dried mangoes. I want to feel more grounded throughout the day. I want to be more present. I want to just have food feel effortless. I want to get out of the FN mentality, the all or nothing mentality, and be able to shift my perspective on complete health. Like I want to actually take the best care of me. I want to become the greatest version of myself. You're going to love being inside of the academy. So if that sounds like you can message me academy and I'll share the details on how you can get personalized coaching and mentorship from me to help you fully step into your binge free life. But without further ado, let's go ahead and bring up Christine onto the podcast. Christine, hello.
Hi, Lara.
How's it going?
It's going great.
Amazing.
I loved the Facebook Live this morning.
Oh, wasn't it so good?
That was deep. That was so deep. You weren't lying.
I'm
I
like,
filled
we're
my
not doing
journal.
anything surface level. We're just going deep. And I feel like, honestly, like that's been our coaching together,
It
you
has.
know? And I actually want to go to the very beginning because I remember when you were at the retreat, the event, remember you said the VIP dinner, you were like, you're not just like this food coach. You're like this life coach. Like you're not just like this relationship with food person. And let's go back to the beginning when you didn't even know what to expect. What you didn't know what my coaching was really all about, but you saw that one video of mine that says like this is binge eating. What made you drawn to that video? What made you drawn to the coaching that we do together?
Well, okay, so obviously I found you on Instagram. For me at least, I found you on Instagram. I know you're on different platforms. But I saw this woman eating and looking a little bit guilty, fearful, hiding in shame and hiding wrappers. And and I thought, oh gosh, that's me. And I immediately, I mean, it took me a while. I would watch your reels but I wouldn't. Yeah, I just wouldn't act on it. I was like, I'm impenetrable. I have a problem. There's just no way. And I was intrigued. And so, after I think 3 months of following you, I joined the membership. And well, no, I take it back. I did a program and I thought, wow, I got one of the small programs that,
Yeah.
I purchased. And I thought, wow, I was mind blown because you really, even though it was food based, it was deep. It talked about why we substitute behaviors and all of these things. And I was mind blown. So then inevitably I joined the program, and then that led to the academy, which I'm in the academy now. And of course, I went to the VIP event. And I really, even though you still build yourself as, I mean, you're more than that. You're more than just a food coach, right? Or an intuitive food coach or whatever you want to call it. Or throughout the year that I worked with you, you started sneaking in general life lessons like boundaries and communication in relationships. It's like, what? I didn't ask for this because I didn't know I needed it. And that was kind of like the giant bonus of it all. And it's really carried me through some tough times in my life, as you know, and
Yeah.
as the ladies in our academy know. We're like this sisterhood right now. We've bonded so closely. And it's just been like this remarkable change over time where you really start looking beyond just the food. It is absolutely not just food. It is food, but it's more than that. It's life. It's integrating food, how to live with food normally, how to be intuitive, but it's not just intuitive with food, intuitive with your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that has been kind of the biggest growth I've had personally for myself, whereas I didn't ever feel like I felt like I lacked an internal compass for most of my adult life. I've like, where am I going? Besides go to university, go to college, have a career, and that kind of guides you, like life circumstances guide you. But did I have anything driving me internally, as to what was really important to me? No, I didn't know.
Yeah.
No clue. And it's really crystallized things for me.
Mm, wow. Something you said on the most recent Academy call was you're like, the best project that I've been working on is myself, and I'm really proud about that. And I want to talk about that because you're so committed to working on yourself. Like for someone who kind of felt like maybe lost or whatever, you want to say it, it's like you've been working on yourself, not just your relationship with food, but like you said, communication, the boundaries, the standards, the health, like all these other areas. And what, like, why? Like, what's the driving factor? Because it's so inspiring. Like, you go all in. You are so freaking committed to truly being the best Christine possible. And I'd love for you to just talk about that.
Well, I think for me, I have just chosen to do this and go all in because, like I said, it started out accidentally. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know what I needed.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't. I truly didn't know what I needed. I needed a little bit of structure that I didn't know where to get it from because it's like sometimes maybe you weren't raised that way, or maybe your surroundings, or the way you've gone through life, you just didn't have certain guideposts for yourself. It was external factors telling you what you should do and how you should think. And so you do it. You go through life and you just do what you're supposed to do.
Mm,
And then you sort of get lost, and then you start doing kind of, I would say, almost self-destructive behaviors or escapist, avoidant behavior, as you said.
yeah.
Yeah, and binge eating or overeating or mindless snacking is one of them. And for me, just learning the tools that you kind of sneakily gave us in your lessons, like becoming heard, that series you're doing, oh my gosh, mind blowing. Um, just those tools you've kind of sneakily presented to us and given to us, or to me at least, it's really made me realize, wow, I really can kind of claim myself. I can just live comfortably with myself, and it's refreshing to wake up each day and say, hey, I don't know what I don't have this. I used to think I had to have some grand plan in life, but I don't know what it is. But finally, it's like I am just so joyful to wake up and think about, oh, what am I going to do for myself that really matters to move myself an inch forward each day? A little bit more, because I do know and I do feel that it has impacted me personally and even my family.
Yeah.
It's subtle things my husband has noticed, like, hey, you're more joyful, you're happier, you're more grounded. And that has allowed me to kind of go through other areas of life, like work and stress. Of course, it's always going to be there.
Hmm.
But when you kind of realize, like I said, I'm my own biggest project. It's like, okay, I don't have to drive myself crazy trying to seek this, seek out, please this, please that person, do this, do this, do that. I am just working on me.
Yeah.
It's so simple,
Yeah.
but it's kind of like for me eye-opening.
Totally. And where you're at now, like saying that working on myself is the greatest project is so different than when you first even joined the membership. I think you came on a call and I'm like, who's this lady? You were talking about like wanting to do like these crazy diets. And I'm like, what is happening? I'm like, wait, we're supposed to be healing your relationship with food, and you were talking about like diets and all, and I'm like, you were a completely different person back then.
Yeah, because my whole identity was tied up into dieting, how to lose weight. I mean,
Yes.
it's been almost 2 decades of yo-yo dieting, and that takes over your life. Yo-yo dieting, compensatory exercise, overeating, exercising, and then yeah, I've tried every diet under the sun, keto, intermittent fasting, and then punishing myself for slipping, and then just thinking, oh, I just ruined myself, and then putting on weight, losing the weight, putting on weight. And it's like you've said over and over again, we all know how to lose weight. That's not a hard, it's how to maintain and sustain. And that's up here. That happens up here.
Mm.
And that's where I'm at right now.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much how to lose weight, but how to develop a life that's, like you said, sustainable, where
Yeah.
you just wake up and you do it.
Yes.
You do it, you live it.
Yeah.
Instead of like driving yourself crazy with plans. When am I going to do this, to do this, to do this, to do that? You just wake up and you start living it.
Yeah.
And it's been so much more peaceful.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah. It's like when you're like, how do I have to eat today? How do I have to work out? It's like stress, anxiety. It's like you mentioned about being grounded. You can't be grounded when you're so up in your head, and it's, what am I going to eat? Is this the right thing? It's like you have to trust your internal guidance system that says, what sounds good? What do I feel like eating? How do I want to move my body today? And I'm curious, like, what was that shift for you from going to like, I need a diet, like all these crazy diets, to now you're loving yourself. You're doing things out of self love, even wanting to release weight. But your mindset is, I want to do this for my health. I want to do this to feel like the body that I'm in is the badass body that I'm meant to be in. Like your perspective has shifted completely. And what was that shift for you?
I think for me one day, it's kind of strange. I think being out in nature really helps you to kind of calm and yourself and ground yourself. And I was taking a walk by myself and I started thinking about, all these years I've tried to lose weight. And there's always that sneaky thought, Lorna, at the back of my head. Oh, I'd love to drop 20 pounds. I'd love to. And then I caught myself and I thought, I can't keep doing this. That is just punishing yourself for it's like the rest of my life. I know if I keep going in that direction where my single focus is losing weight, no. I know I can lose the weight. I absolutely know I can. But then I didn't have that faith that I can maintain it because I had no faith in myself. I had no sense of trust, intuition, or faith that I could maintain a weight loss. I knew I could go back to counting calories, you name it, any crazy diet. I could do it. Yeah, I could do. I can diet for 3 to 6 months and lose the weight. But can I maintain and sustain? No, not. And I started feeling anxiety and pressure as I was taking that walk. And it was beautiful. It was sunny. And then I'm like, no. And like just something kind of took hold of me and was like, no, no, this has to be something I wake up and do the rest of my life. It has to be you wake up into it. You wake up and you walk into it every day. As you like to say, embody, you
Yeah.
know? And it kind of dawned on me. It's probably after like listening to one of your recordings that, and it just, and it doesn't always, it might take 2 weeks and then suddenly you wake up and it's in your head. I
Yeah.
want to embody this.
Yes.
I want to embody this. I know I can't do the quick fixes anymore. I need to embody this. And I thought, I've heard you say this before. I think I heard you say to on a coaching call to someone else, can I see myself waking up and doing this for another 20 years? And that came back, immediately that came back, that thought came to me. And I thought, no, I do not want to diet for another 20 years. I've already dieted for 20 years and look where I am.
Mm.
So I thought, no, it has to be something you literally wake up into, embody. And the only path forward is to learn to trust your intuition. And heck, I had no idea what my intuition was. No idea. But really, I'm slowly finding it. It does exist. It's in there. It really comes from a place of peace and calm where
Yeah.
you sit with your body, you ground yourself. Occasionally, I find it through meditation or breath work, or just pausing and taking a breath. And I literally tell myself, pause. I mean, I literally have this internal dialogue, and I'll say, okay, I literally just sit and relax my shoulders, breathe, relax into my body. It can take even like 5, 10 seconds.
Yes.
And then I suddenly feel connected and more grounded.
Yeah.
And that to me is like, okay, I'm going to let that lead me forward in my
Mm-hmm.
next decision
Mm-hmm.
because I can't, if it's like, as you say, pressure and your body's clenching, you know something's off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where I'm starting to tap into that and moving forward with, oh, do I proceed? Yes, no, maybe.
Yeah.
And that's my body is telling me, don't you dare think about counting calories and dieting. That's not your path. It's not
Yeah.
your path anymore. That's over. Close
Yeah.
that door. Yeah.
And because you stop that and you're like, no, I'm actually going to do things sustainably. I'm going to heal my relationship with food. You've had many breakthroughs. I remember even like the cracker example, like it's those little things of, I'll get you to share the story, but it's like, okay, I want something salty, okay, I'm going to have, a cracker and I'm good. I'm going to have the cracker. I'm satisfied. I can trust myself versus, I probably shouldn't be eating this. Well, the floodgates are open and I'm just going to, binge on a whole box of crackers or a whole box of Oreos or whatever it is. So, can you share that story? Because I feel like that was a moment in time where you tap into your intuition, you tap into Christine's higher self, and it was just a really beautiful moment.
Yeah. So I had just had a pretty like nice dinner. I make sure my dinners are pretty good, delicious. I do try to do that now, and it's very helpful. But I do get into the trap of, do I want a dessert? Do I want a snack? So then and I had purchased, like, I was like, oh, I'm going to splurge. And I had done errands that day and spent a whole day doing things. And I was busy. So I picked up dessert. So I thought, I'm going to eat dessert. So I ate dessert. And I'm like, okay, I didn't really feel guilty about the dessert. I was pretty cool with it. But I did think, oh, I'm full.
Yeah.
I'm full. That dessert put me over the top. So I was full. And then, of course, there's this, I don't know, with me, this inclination, oh, I've had something sweet. Well, that was really sweet. I need to balance it out with salt. That was,
Yeah.
I just got to wash my palate with salt. So, of course, and I'm pretty full, mind you, because that dessert was delicious and dinner was delicious. So I go in the pantry and I walk in there and I look around and I'm like looking for something salty and I see a box of crackers that I really like. But I'm like, internal battle. The mind turns on and it looks at it. And I actually picked up the box and then I thought, wait a minute. I'm playing mind games, I'm thinking, should I eat? No, wait, you're really full. Don't do this. Oh, no, no. I put it back, walked out. That same thing 3 times, walked in and out, in and out, in the course of an hour, maybe 20 minutes. And finally I walked in and I just relaxed my shoulders, relaxed myself, and I thought, took a deep breath, and I thought, okay, you want something salty? Eat a cracker and see where it goes. I ate one cracker and I'm like, and I relaxed and I was like, you know what? I kind of listened to my body and I'm like, I don't really want that much. I just wanted a taste of salt. That's all. Let's
Mm.
just have a cracker. One cracker, who cares? One cracker, you don't need to eat the whole box. Why are you doing these mind games? That's kind of what comes up. And I kind of had to relax to really even realize that, okay, I do want something salty, but I am full. But then the old me would have eaten the whole box or at least half the box. I just went, and it was all these my it takes relaxing, and it took relaxing and tapping into my intuition, kind of feeling how my body was. I literally I relaxed my shoulders. That's a start, and how I do it. And I ate one cracker, and then I put it, and I'm like, I'm going to bed. And I was done,
Yeah.
finished. No desire to eat more. And it was just like, okay, that was easy. It's actually easier than I think when you tap into your intuition and you listen to your body, and it's not always easy to do in the beginning, and I'm working on it.
Yeah.
It's actually a heck of a lot easier than your mind trying to sort things through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The mind will tell you a million different things that's not actually your true self, but you connect to your intuition and it's like, oh, I'm actually satisfied. Like, I'm actually good. Like, and I always share your body wants to take the best care of you. Your body doesn't want you to overeat. Your body doesn't want you to mindlessly snack or consume so much food at once. Like your body actually really wants to take the best care of you. So your body will send you a signal. Hey, Christine, I'm full. Hey, Christine, we don't need anything else. And because you actually were able to take a minute, tap into your intuition, it's like, I honored the craving and now I'm good, which is why you were able to move on so easily.
Yeah.
You remember when you did that also with dried mangoes, like at the very beginning? I like you were always
Oh my
like,
gosh.
oh, I just can't stop eating dried mangoes. And I'm like, well, you're eating them at night. Like, just allow yourself to have them throughout the day. Like, you have to make peace with that food. And then you did, and you're like, I didn't even have the desire to binge on them anymore.
Exactly. So I used to buy the Costco bag, the Kirkland bag of dried mango. And I truly felt it was, I mean, I literally felt it was a true addiction because I would go through that bag in like 3 days. That's that's a lot of dried mango.
Yeah.
The max I could hang on to one was a week, but that's a lot of dried mango for one person to eat. And it was the game every night of going into the pantry, going into the pantry. And after our coaching, you said, well, you recommended let yourself have it earlier throughout the day. So the next morning, I woke up and because I was doing that battle every night, every day, and I was so good. I was so perfect. Like I'm not having any dried mango. And then, of course, at night, I'm
Yeah.
eating a handful of dried mango. And then, oh, I did it again. I blew it. And it'd be like 3 or 4 days in a row. So after our coaching, I woke up the next morning and I thought, I'm going to try dried mango in my granola with my in my it was muesli with my breakfast. So I snipped some dried mango in it and it was so delicious. And it was a different flavor too, to have it with something crunchy, a little bit of milk. It was different and I really enjoyed it like that. And then later and I was like thinking, what am I gonna do tonight? Night rolled around and I went in and I think I had one piece and it wasn't a big deal. And then I have to tell you, I have a bag of dried mango in there. It's been in there for 8 months.
Oh my goodness.
It's actually so like it just sits there like almost like looking at a bag of flour. Like I'm so disinterested.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know how I used to think I'll never break this curse. It's probably been there at least 8 months. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that you shared that because it's really easy for people to be like, oh, like she can make peace with that food, or like that can happen for her. But it's like you don't actually believe that it can happen for you until you do a different action. Like if you just kept on trying to not have it all day, you would still be binging on it in the evenings, but you were willing to do things differently, trust the process. That's the whole rewiring of your brain. It's like you don't rewire your brain by doing the exact same thing that you've always done, it's doing things differently.
Right. I actually started, and I forgot to tell you, I started packing it in with my lunch to take to
Yes.
work. So
Yeah.
it kind of became a part of my day.
Yes.
And it was like demystified. It was just like
Mm,
the romance was taken out of it because it wasn't like it just wasn't a big deal. It wasn't forbidden,
yes.
you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. And now it's in your cupboard,
It's in
and
there.
that's it. I feel like that's happened to you with other, like, I remember
It
you said,
has.
like, I bought a bunch of Costco snacks, and you're like, it's just still there. And it's not that you can't have it. You do have some of the snacks, but it's like, it's just in a completely different way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Wow,
definitely.
which is huge.
Absolutely. It's so different. It's not like food is not something it's not something that I fear so much anymore. And I don't think of food as being good or bad. I used to think, oh gosh, that's so bad, so bad. Now I don't really think of food like that. I more think of this is a better food, obviously, like fruits and veggies and whole foods and lean meats are better. They support you better. They support your nutrition. They support your health. They are true, they are better in that regard,
Yeah,
but food doesn't, and versus like cake and chocolate. But I don't see it as a morality thing anymore. Like if I eat these foods, I have failed my diet and therefore failed.
yeah,
It's not that at all
yeah,
anymore. So I'm eating dessert. I still eat dessert. I love dessert. But it's not so, gosh, I want to say it's not it doesn't take over anymore. And there are times where I might eat like, oh, I had a little too much to eat. It used to be something where it would get me down for like 2 weeks and I would just be in this cycle.
yeah,
Now it's kind of like the next meal, even by the next meal, I'm like, oh, okay, whatever, moving on.
yeah,
And it helped for you to tell me, take it meal by meal. You don't have
yes,
to see the end result. You don't have to know it.
yeah,
Meal by meal.
yeah, yeah. Just like this journey. It's like when you first even started like joining the programs, it's like you wouldn't have never expected yourself to get to this place, but you can't say, what is it going to look like? And then based off that, I'm going to take an action. It's like you came in and you're like, I just want to heal my relationship with food. And because you took that step, it's like so many other areas have changed because you didn't need the evidence. It's like you just took it one little step at a time. And that's why you're able to do these things.
Exactly. In fact, the times that I have tried to project forward with the goal of perfection
Mm-hmm.
and where I thought, oh, I'm just perfect and I'm skinny and I'm fit and I'm wearing great, cute looking workout clothes and I don't binge and I make all the perfect choices. And then, yeah, it's great to romanticize that, but I think that's really not the end goal you want to keep going, striving for. The real goal is to live it day to day.
Yeah.
It's not to try to jump to the end result and not know how you get there to that end result that you dream of.
Yeah.
Because, good times and bad times I've learned are fleeting. Things happen in our lives that can throw us off course. And if you don't know how to kind of live it each day and learn to, I don't know, as you say, embody it,
Yeah.
then when difficult things happen, life happens, and you get thrown off course, you fall off the wagon, so to speak. And if you jumped too fast to the end result with a push, push, push goal, mindlessly just pushing. Um, it's almost like dieting, almost.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I mean.
Yes.
It's almost like dieting. It's like I'm just going to do this to get there
Mm-hmm.
without even knowing how it's done
Yeah.
and how to embody it, and you don't really live it. So when life gets tough and things get thrown your way and things happen, you fall off course and suddenly you don't know how to get back on, or it takes
Yes.
you 10 times longer to come back onto the path you really want to be on again.
Yeah, because you weren't focused. Like when you're not focusing on like who do I need to be in this moment, it's like, what do I do? Lorna, just tell me what to do. And then it's like you
Exactly.
follow the XYZ plan, but then all of a sudden this doesn't go as planned. And then you're like, what do I do? Like you literally feel lost compared to trusting yourself, building that intuition, focusing on being strong, brave, courageous, resilient, leaning to the fear, making the courageous moves. Shit can hit the fan and you're like, I got this. Like,
That's
I will be
exactly it.
okay.
Exactly. That is exactly it. And
Yeah.
I think that's really my like project for myself, my grand
Yeah.
Christine's project,
Yeah.
to really just live it and embody
Mhm.
it little by little every day.
Yeah.
Until, you and I talked on a coaching call just a couple days ago, where I asked you, how do you sustain this? How do you have the energy to do this? And you talked about putting systems in place, taking time for rest. I mean, just a lot of these really valuable tips that you gave me. And I mean, it's really putting up, learning what are those systems, putting those systems in place and finding what those systems are for me personally that
Yes.
work in my life.
Yes.
So that when shit hits the fan, you still got you at the end of the day
Yeah.
and you're not unraveling,
Yeah.
you know? And so I have discovered like there are days that are just, some really difficult days, and I can at least rebound so much faster. I'm
Yeah.
I'm picking myself up, and it's in all areas. It's not just the food. It's
Yeah.
in all areas. I think it's like a mental, emotional resilience you build
Mm-hmm.
over time
Yes.
to learn how to guide yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start even learning to ask better questions because you start learning, oh, this is what I think I might need this. I don't know how to get. Let me ask Lorna. I
Yeah.
know how to be a little bit more specific
Yes.
because before I was just, I still am an open book. I'm eager to learn, but now I can kind of fine tune a little bit more too
Totally.
because
Totally.
I'm kind of understanding, okay, um, this is where my life is going now. This is how I feel about food. Okay, I could use a tweaking in this particular area.
Yeah. It
And so
becomes
I'm
more
able,
nuanced.
yes, exactly. Whereas in the beginning, when we first met, it was, help me
How
stop
do I stop
myself.
binge eating? And I'm like, do we
It's
have
big.
10 hours?
Yeah, it's monumental and it
Yeah.
feels like Mount Everest.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
does. But
Totally.
it, but to anyone who's listening to this podcast later, it can be broken down. It can be done. I'm proof. It can be broken into chunks that are manageable, and you can learn to live it slowly. You really learn to live it. And I
Yeah.
think living it is the most important part.
Mm-hmm. I think something that helped you live it is really the support system in our sisterhood, like the
Oh
badass
my,
community.
yes. It is absolutely that, to turn on my computer and to see the same beautiful faces and to hear their stories and to have someone ask a question that I didn't know I needed to ask sometimes. Or maybe, even after a year of working together, sometimes there's that secret embarrassment. I should be farther along. Do I ask this? Or, you're fighting that battle and then somebody asks, oh, hallelujah, thank goodness. And we learn so much from each other and we're so supportive and we throw like just supportive messages in the chat for each other. We cheer each other on, we cry together, and we just know each other's life stories, and
Yeah.
we've seen each other grow so much. And that is the most beautiful part, is to watch another human being kind of have a similar struggle but living a different life and watching them grow
Yeah.
and not just binge eating, or overeating or mindless eating, but to watch them grow in other areas of
Yeah.
their life, like when we talk about our, you know, communication in our marriages or setting up boundaries at work, you know, to watch the other ladies in the group grow and set up their boundaries. It's really beautiful, and I
Yeah.
just like love them and cheer them on, and I know they got my back. So
Yes.
it's been incredible.
Oh, I love that so much. And it takes vulnerability of one person to also be vulnerable. And you were always that person too that would be vulnerable and share. And I don't know if I should ask this question, but you ask it anyways, because maybe last week someone else asked this question. Like, thank God you asked that question. And that's what makes it a sisterhood. It's like I feel so safe to share exactly what's on my mind. And that's how you can actually transform. When you hold things in, I actually can't even coach you because I'm like, or I can because I'm like, you're asking this question, but there's something actually deeper beneath it. I'm like, can we go
Ex-
there? You know,
Exactly.
and the more vulnerable you are, like the more open you are, it's like the better, my coaching is with you.
Yes, absolutely. And you know what? I will say what I also love and respect so much about working with you is you'll like tell us how you do things, how you live your day, but you always, always say, use your discernment. You know, what works for me at this time of day or what it may not work for you in your life or what you do specifically. Use your discernment.
Mm.
Okay. And that really helps because there have been times where I was like, oh, I have to do this, and I would get too rigid and formulaic about things.
Yeah.
And then, oh shoot, I bombed, you know?
Yes.
And then I think I had that talk with you about like I couldn't the badass daily six. There were some things that I couldn't do, and you said it's not about checking a you know you just do what you can, you
Hmm.
know, and I was feeling anxiety about not getting them done, and then I would all or nothing, and then you said no, use your discern, do what you can, you know,
Yeah.
you would make it such everything was so approachable, you
Mm.
know, and you make it so real so that we can incorporate it into our lives. And I think the number one thing you always stress to us is don't put pressure on yourself, because when you put that pressure on yourself, that's when you start to rebel. You
Yes.
really do.
Yeah.
You really do.
And it's like you stop putting pressure on yourself with food rules, but then it's like pressure to use this tool and pressure to use that tool. And I'm like, it's still pressure. It's
Yeah.
like, it's really
Yeah.
the same thing. And then that's not tuning into your intuition. And then in order for things to be sustainable, it has to work for you. It has to feel so good for your body. And if something doesn't feel good for your body, it's not for you. It's like there's something else, it's like tap into your intuition. What's going to feel best for you? That's how you can sustain everything long term.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly. So that's my project for myself.
So
And
good.
it's
Well, you've literally come so far. Like, again, from like the first membership call to like being in the academy for like a year plus and meeting you in person at the event. Like, it's just been so
oh,
incredible.
that was fun. Oh, that
That
was
was, we had a
amazing.
blast. We had a
Yeah.
blast. We had so much fun. But I'm so proud of you, and you've come so far in your journey, and
Thank
you
you.
really are someone who wants to keep on working on yourself. And you know this project that you talk about, it really is so beautiful. It's not okay, I'm going to reach X milestone and then I'm done. It's like you always want to strive for better and growth, and it's really beautiful to witness.
It is for me too. And I thank
Yeah.
you for that. It has been just a really fun journey and really deep too. Lots of crying, but it's been beautiful. And I just really want to thank you, Lorna.
Of course, of course. It's been an honor to support you. And I love our sisterhood that we've really created in the academy. It's like such a special, safe space, and it wouldn't be the same without you. So we're grateful to have you.
Thank you.
Of course. Well, I will see you tomorrow in our academy coaching call. And we see each other all the time and all
I
the places
know.
and all the things. But thank you so much for coming on and sharing your heart. And I'm excited for everyone to take a listen.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Bye,
Bye
Christine.
bye.